The performative man. He's defined as someone who displays performative feminism as well as emotional sensitivity. He reads books like All About Love by Bell Hooks and The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. He listens to female indie artists like Clairo. He drinks matcha lattes, and he owns a Labubu that he clips onto his tote bag. He does all of this in an effort to superficially appeal to women, with the intent of pursuing them romantically. He attempts to signal to women that he's not like other men. I've met a couple of these in my day. In fact, they're crawling all over campus. However, I want to dive deeper into this internet meme, investigate what's beneath its surface. Albeit unintentionally, the notion of a performative man, in a way, implies a version of pure masculinity bubbling underneath the surface, toxic heteronormative masculinity. However, both forms of masculinity are still a performance. While the tote bag wearing, bell hooks reading version appeals to women, the Joe Rogan loving macho form of masculinity is still a performance, but for other men.
There are two extremes that men are going to. It's either young boys going towards incel culture, following Jordan Peterson and his spiel of masculinity, or it's this quote-unquote woke, very curated version of palatable masculinity that is specifically for women.
It seems as if this emerging performative persona is a response to the hypermasculine, toxic breed of masculinity that seems increasingly more common with the rise of conservatism and right-wing values. It's a way of aesthetically distancing oneself from this culture.
Every decade has a different kind of masculinity that manifests as a response to the culture. With the late 90s and the early 2000s, there was this whole wave of cis men trying to perform a very exclusive masculinity, which was keeping women at bay, the kind that you see in your Fight Club. Right. So that's the instance that I was thinking of giving you, like where men wanted to be Tyler Durden, but they were the narrator, right? So there was this aspirational masculinity as a response to that, the cultural zeitgeist during that time.
But it's also no secret that women are wary of this toxic genre of man. Thus, in an attempt to appeal to the opposite sex, men are performing a softer, more sensitive version of masculinity. Of course, there is a slight danger in assuming that all men who appear more feminine are performing. It can potentially discourage men from embracing these perhaps genuine aspects of their personality.
The way patriarchy works is that it does not just target women, right? It targets men as well. So there is a lot of anxiety and a lot of pressure to perform your masculinity a certain way.
Inadvertently, by doing so, we are reinforcing patriarchal ideas of what it means to be a man. Yet there's a very valid reason that women are calling this out.
It feels disingenuous, as yes, gender is a performance, but this performance feels very specific. It feels very driven to get lucky, quote unquote.
There's a stark difference between actually being an ally and only pretending to be one. And women are able to sniff out this insincerity.
Call it, again, women's intuition, which is very gender language. It is because, women have been trained actively over the years to be intuitive, to be aware, to be just in sync with their surroundings. Hence, I think women, cis women, are, more aware or are able to, understand or just know what's going on with when someone's performing this kind of masculinity.
All in all, there's nothing wrong with men practicing this emotional sensitivity and offering allyship, but it needs to be genuine. Just like there's nothing wrong with owning a Labubu or drinking matcha lattes. The issue arises when these things are only done as a mating call.
instead of, you performing to read a Toni Morrison or bell hooks, maybe, if men did read them and actually practice their politics and engage with it meaningfully, I think we're in for a good world.